Well, hello there, YouTube. Mr. Gibson Guy with you again today. Thanks for coming by the channel. I have a new video I'm doing. My last one I did was on the Minolta XE-1. The XE-7 series is the American numbers for it. And I have been finding a lot of satisfaction at looking at some interesting old Minolta cameras, and I started out with one, got another one, and then just got another one again. So there's some other videos about them, but today I want to introduce you to my latest, and this happens to be one of the original designations of Minolta X1, known in the States as the XK, and this was the very first of the X series cameras. I'll tell you, I'm going to do a full evaluation of it in the upcoming, say, weeks. So, but this just came and I was really excited about it, so I just wanted to go over with you some of the highlights of getting this new to me camera. Okay, I just added a new to me Minolta camera to my collection. This is the first X camera from Minolta. They had SRs and SRTs and other things like that, but this was the beginning of the X line. I will do a full evaluation later, but now I just want to go through the highlights. I ordered this camera late Monday night. It shipped out on Tuesday morning. Wednesday was transportation, and Thursday morning, today, it arrived in Brooksville and went out for delivery to me from Osaka. If I want to order something from Georgia, it'll take a week to 10 days, but if you order something from halfway around the world, 2-day turnaround time. It's amazing. If you're not familiar, a lot of people are not very familiar with this. It's kind of an obscure camera. This is generally on the used market about a $300 or $400 camera. I've been looking at them and thinking, boy, that's a lot of money to spend for an old camera that's questionable it's even going to work. And if you search far enough into eBay, you get down on page 3 or 4, you start getting stuff that's bargain basement prices. And I had studied up a lot about the XK series, and I saw one that the picture of it looked really good, and it looked promising, but there was one problem, and that is it was marked for repair only. The mirror was stuck. You have to get it repaired. It's not going to work. But instead of $300 or $400, it was $92. I think it was a little bit more than that, but they offered me another price when I questioned them on it. Anyway, so $92 plus 30 odd bucks for that very fast 2-day shipping. And so I studied up as much as I could, and I discovered that the X1 series, XK series cameras had a specific problem that was recurring on these cameras all the time, and that is that it was kind of weak on its return spring for the mirror. And so if your batteries were low, your mirror would lock up. If your batteries were dead, the mirror would lock up. If you pressed it in manual and you were touching the sense switch, which is this little thing here, the mirror would lock up. And also it has, down here, a little thing called a mirror lockup, which locks up and then unlocks the mirror. And I'll go through all of those things on it, but basically what I did was, the main way that you reset the mirror on the X series cameras is you take a nickel and you turn this battery compartment door. It's a little bit unusual. It's got 2 red dots on it, and you turn it a quarter turn, and there's a little switch inside there that releases the mirror. But a lot of people don't know that. There's all sorts of little tricks as to how to get the mirror to unlock. All you have to do is know them. And so I did that, cleaned out the battery compartment with some white vinegar and a Q-tip. Okay, got my Q-tip here, got my nickel here. Those are my tools, and that's all it takes for this camera. Let's see, I'll point it out the window. Yeah, hear that? Or I can point it up towards the bright light. Hear the shutter's faster. Or I can down in the dark area, listen to the shutter. Hear that? That's like a quarter second or an eighth second. So it's on automatic. And with batteries in it and everything cleaned up, everything works perfectly on it. But now it works like it's a $300 or $400 camera, but it was still a $92 camera, and it worked for me. So it's joined the Minolta shelf, which is a growing number. I think this is probably just about my last Minolta to add to the collection. I got pretty much all the interesting stuff that was of interest to me. The only other one I would get interested in was the younger brother to the XK, which is, of course, the XK motor drive camera. But yeah, you're not going to find an XK motor for $92 plus some shipping. They're usually going for starting around $1,000 now. They're very rare, very collectible and in demand. And when one of them comes up at a halfway decent price, it disappears excuse me, real fast. So who knows, I might come across a bargain on one. And basically it's this camera, but it has a permanent affixed motor drive underneath it. And it's got its own problem in that the plastic that Minolta used to make the battery pack underneath the motor doesn't hold up, and they're all very old now, and those plastic battery compartments are all degrading and falling apart. So if you have, I saw somebody that had an XK motor drive camera on YouTube the other night, and what they did was they plugged in the AC adapter to it, and they could run it off there, but they couldn't run the motor off the camera if it wasn't plugged in. So a very interesting camera, but I think this will probably be my limit on Minoltas. But you never know what may happen. So watch coming up in the future. I'll have the full rundown on this camera compared to some of the other Minolta cameras here. And if you're a person that's interested in some old historical Minoltas, this is the place where you find them. All right, it was nice for you to come by. I hope you visit me again. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up and a comment. Tell me about your experiences with old Minoltas, and that means before autofocus. And I'll see you on the next one. This is Mr. Gibson Guy, and I'm out of here.